All right, story time, because I know it's coming. So most of you know that my little one was sick. Wednesday, we took him to the doctor, and he had strep throat. So he was on antibiotics, or he is still on antibiotics. And so yesterday he was able to return back to school. So he went to school, and then last night, I mean, he was back to his normal self as far as behaviors and stuff. Last night he went to his track practice, and on the way home, my husband and the boys picked up Mexican food and brought it home for us to have for dinner. And of course, like, we're having a good night, we're eating, whatever. And all of a sudden, Lane comes over and he's like, and we're like, what? You know, what's going on? And I was like, he's choking. I was like, no, he's not. He's just eating something hot. I said, no, he's choking. So he snatches him up, and he does like the Heimlich maneuver. It took a couple times to actually get him to, you know, actually stop, you know, where he could breathe or talk to us or anything. He threw up a couple times, you know, nothing big. Like, we really didn't see anything food-wise really come out. We asked him, like, did you have anything in your mouth? Did you eat something you shouldn't have? Like, as far as like plastic, metal, something, you know, did you pick up something and eat it? Nope. He did say he had a peppermint in his mouth, but the peppermint he spit out before he started choking because it was already burning, he said. Something was burning, and then he couldn't breathe. So he had already spit the peppermint out, which we found he did spit it out before throwing up and having the Heimlich maneuver and all the things. We don't know if a piece of it maybe had gone down, possibly, and he just didn't know it, or if something else had gotten stuck in his throat. While he was eating, he had already gave us his plate, so he was done eating, and he didn't even have chips. He didn't eat chips and salsa. He had fries with some hamburger meat and queso on top of them. So anyways, so he was still, like, you know, hyperventilating, freaking out, crying, saying it hurt, and all I could think was, like, did something cut his throat? Like, what's going on? So we took off to the hospital. Of course, like, his blood pressure was high, which was to be expected. I mean, he was freaking out. But they said, you know, they thought it was just him choking on something. They didn't want to do any scans because they said scans wouldn't really have shown anything unless it was something non-food related that had gone down. And because his vitals were technically good, and he wasn't showing any signs of, like, having breathing issues or things like that. His lungs sounded clear, things like that. They thought that he was good to go home, and us just watch him at home. Trying to think what else. By the time we had gotten to the hospital, though, his face, like, all around it was red and splotchy and had little, like, welts on it. Like, he had allergic reaction. So I kept asking him, like, are you sure, like, he didn't eat anything that maybe caused his throat to close or something, you know? Or could this be something going along with the medicine? They were pretty adamant that it wasn't the medicine, and that, I'm out of breath, and that, he could have been having some type of allergic reaction, but, just to go home and give him Benadryl, and just keep an eye on him, and if it happened again, to bring him back. And I'm like, I don't want it to happen again. That was so scary. So I don't know, we're continuing his medicine right now, and just kind of keep an eye on him. They did say his tonsils were still really, really swollen, so I'm really thinking that possibly his tonsils were swollen, and he went to swallow, and something got stuck, and it didn't immediately trigger until maybe he started trying to swallow again, and then he couldn't. It got lodged. But I don't know. I really don't know. It was crazy, bizarre, freak accident. I don't know. I don't know which one to call it. But he's okay. It's now the next day. It's like halfway through the day. He had a good night's sleep. He's been, I mean, you'll see the last video that I just posted. He is wild, rambunctious Lane again. But like I said, he was wild, rambunctious Lane yesterday too. So, but yeah, scary. I'm just really glad that my husband, you know, leapt into action as fast as he did, because I was in freak out mode. The kids were freaking out. Cash was putting on his shoes. He was ready to go to the hospital with his brother. I'm taking him to the hospital. I'm like, okay, buddy. But anyways, yeah, I'm just thankful my husband was quick on his feet and was able to get whatever was lodged in there out. They said that if it was food and it did go down his airways, that food would dissolve. So, they were okay with that. So, all right, well, that's where we're at, and that's what happened to us last night, and just pray that nothing else happens like this again. And of course, just if you've had anything, like an experience like this, and you have any, like, insight to share, please feel free to comment and let me know.